Have you ever experienced an itch that made you pause and wonder what your body might be trying to tell you? As we grow older, our bodies communicate in subtle ways, through aches, tiredness, or even something as simple as an itch. While most people tend to dismiss an itch as just dry skin or a minor annoyance, the truth is, the location of that itch could be revealing a lot more than you realize. In fact, persistent itching in certain areas of the body, especially in seniors, has been linked to serious underlying health issues that could quietly reduce your lifespan. That's right, something as small as an ongoing itch might actually be a warning signal that shouldn't be ignored. In today's video, we're going to reveal 4 specific body areas where chronic itchiness in older adults could indicate deeper health concerns. These insights aren't based on myths or speculation. They come from real clinical observations and studies in the fields of aging and longevity. Each itchy spot tells its own story about your circulation, your internal organs, your nervous system, and even your nutritional health. By the time you finish this video, you'll be equipped to spot these warning signs and know what actions you can take to protect your health. So don't ignore it. Stick with us to the end, because understanding what these itches mean could not only extend your life, but help you live with more vitality, sharpness, and peace of mind. And if you haven't subscribed yet, this is the perfect time. Don't forget to turn on the bell so you never miss a new video. Let's dive in. Number 1. Persistent itching on the lower legs. One of the most overlooked yet important signs that something more serious could be happening inside your body is a constant itch on the lower legs. It's easy to blame it on dry skin or the natural aging process, but when you notice itching in this area without any obvious rash or irritation, it's worth taking seriously. Medical professionals have found that frequent itching on the calves, shins, or ankles in older adults can be a symptom of poor blood circulation, specifically a condition known as peripheral artery disease. This means that the blood flow to your lower extremities is restricted, causing the skin to dry out, become sensitive, and feel unusually itchy. Imagine 2 men, Harold and Dennis, both in their early 80s. Harold stays active, taking short walks each morning, checking his legs and feet regularly, and hasn't noticed anything concerning. Dennis, however, has become more sedentary, often feeling fatigued, spending long hours sitting, and recently noticing a persistent itch creeping up his legs, especially at night or after sitting for a while. He tries moisturizing, thinking it's just dryness, but it doesn't really help. What Dennis doesn't realize is that his persistent itch could be his body's way of warning him that his lower legs aren't getting enough blood. Without proper circulation, not only does the skin dry out, but the muscles and tissues underneath can also weaken over time. This puts added pressure on your heart, veins, and the entire vascular network. And impaired circulation has been closely tied to a greater risk of heart attacks, strokes, and even memory loss. Your legs are often called the second heart because they play a major role in pushing blood back up toward the core of the body. When they're not functioning properly, your whole system can begin to feel the effects. But here's the encouraging part. This kind of itchiness can often be improved and even reversed if caught early. Regular movement is one of the best treatments. Simple leg exercises, daily short walks, and elevating your feet while resting can all help enhance circulation. Staying properly hydrated, wearing supportive compression socks, and cutting down on salty snacks can also have a big impact. If you've been feeling a persistent itch in your lower legs that doesn't clear up, especially without signs of rash or allergic reaction, don't brush it aside. Your body might be speaking to you the only way it knows how. Number 2. Mysterious itching on the upper or mid-back. An itch right in the center of your back can be hard to scratch, but what if it's your body trying to scratch the surface of a bigger message? Many seniors report ongoing itchiness along the upper or middle back, and although it's easy to blame it on dry skin or an irritating clothing tag, this type of persistent itch can often point to something deeper. Surprisingly, one of the significant but lesser-known causes of upper back itchiness is related to liver or kidney health, 2 of the body's key detoxifying organs. When these organs become stressed, toxins can accumulate in the blood, irritating the skin and triggering itching, especially in areas rich with nerve endings like the back. Consider Dorothy and Janice, both 76. Dorothy keeps up with regular medical checkups, drinks lots of water, and maintains healthy skin. Janice, however, has recently been feeling unusually fatigued, noticed some swelling around her ankles, and started scratching her back more often, especially during nighttime hours. She's switched her detergent, moisturizes faithfully, but nothing seems to work. What Janice may not realize is that her back itch could be a signal that her kidneys are under stress or her liver isn't detoxifying as efficiently as it used to. When these organs underperform, it impacts more than just skin. It can disrupt digestion, rob energy, disturb sleep, and cloud mental sharpness. Itchiness linked to liver or kidney problems usually doesn't go away with lotions or allergy treatments and often strikes hardest at night, interfering with rest and recovery. And while the itching itself isn't life-threatening, what it represents, a deeper health imbalance can be. Chronic itching of this kind has even been associated with shorter lifespans in older adults. But there's no need to panic. There's power in awareness. A simple blood test can check the health of your liver and kidneys. Staying well hydrated, limiting processed foods, cutting back on alcohol, and controlling salt intake can all ease the workload on these vital organs. If you're taking several medications, it's also smart to have a conversation with your doctor about how they might be affecting your liver and kidneys. So, the next time your back starts to itch without an obvious cause, take a moment to pay attention. Your skin could be the first place your body shows signs of deeper internal stress. If you're still watching this video and finding these tips helpful, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're following along. And if you haven't already, I encourage you to subscribe and click the notification bell so you never miss out on our videos. Your support allows us to keep producing valuable content to help inform and inspire you. Now, let's keep going. Number 3. Repeated itching on the scalp or neck. When older adults notice ongoing itchiness on their scalp or the back of their neck, it's often brushed off as something simple. Maybe dry skin, a bad reaction to a new shampoo, or just another part of getting older. But often, there's something more happening beneath the surface. For many seniors, this itch isn't only about the skin itself. It's often linked to stress, inflammation, and even subtle changes in the nervous system that impact physical and mental well-being. The nerves in the scalp and neck are incredibly sensitive and can be some of the first areas to show when the body is under emotional or neurological strain, especially when that tension has been building unnoticed over time. Let's look at Leonard and Ray, both in their late 70s. Leonard remains active socially, enjoys gardening, and practices light meditation each evening. He's maintained a generally easygoing attitude. Ray, by contrast, has struggled more with the transition into retirement. He feels restless during the evenings, spends more time isolated indoors, and has unknowingly carried a lot of hidden stress. Over recent months, Ray began to scratch his head more frequently, first in the evenings, then at random times throughout the day. There was no rash, no dandruff, and no clear cause. He tried changing shampoos and even bought a new pillowcase, but nothing made a difference. What Ray didn't realize is that his scalp itch was likely a physical sign of emotional tension and nervous system exhaustion. As we get older, our bodies don't always bounce back from stress the way they used to. This prolonged tension often shows up in areas packed with sensitive nerve endings, like the scalp and back of the neck. Persistent itching in these spots has even been associated with conditions like neuropathy and the early stages of cognitive decline. That doesn't mean it's always a major issue, but it does mean it shouldn't be ignored. The good news is there are ways to help calm the nervous system and soothe the itch. Simple things like practicing deep breathing, spending time outdoors, reconnecting with loved ones, or writing down your thoughts at the end of the day can help lower stress levels. In Ray's case, small changes, like a morning walk, turning off the news after dinner, and having a weekly chat with his brother, gradually helped reduce his itching, not immediately but steadily. as the burden of tension lifted and his mind found greater peace. If you've been struggling with persistent itching on your scalp or neck and you've already ruled out skin conditions or allergies, it's time to dig deeper. Reflect on how you've really been feeling lately, not just physically but emotionally too, because your body responds not only to what happens on the outside, but also to what you're carrying inside. Sometimes that stubborn little itch is simply your nervous system tapping you on the shoulder, asking for a bit of relief. Number 4. Persistent itching around the chest or abdomen. When people think about warning signs of health problems, they usually picture symptoms like breathing difficulties, fainting spells, or memory lapses. But the skin on your chest and abdomen, yes, right across the front of your body, can send important signals about internal health, especially if it begins itching for no clear reason. Seniors who notice frequent itching across the torso, especially around the chest or belly, could be dealing with more than just a minor skin irritation. This type of itch can be a sign of nutritional deficiencies or malabsorption issues, both of which can slowly undermine your body's strength, immune protection, and healing capacity. Let's consider Joyce and Elaine, both 81 years old. Joyce still takes pleasure in cooking her own meals, filling her plate with colorful fruits, fresh vegetables, and good sources of protein. She eats less than she did when she was younger, but she prioritizes nutrient-rich foods. Elaine, however, has gradually lost her appetite over the past year. She tends to skip meals, snack on crackers or canned soup, and feels full after just a few bites. During this time, she also began noticing persistent itching on her chest and abdomen, especially in the evenings, sometimes accompanied by tenderness or dryness. She assumed it was just a reaction to soap and switched body washes, but the problem persisted. What Elaine didn't realize is that as we get older, the digestive system often becomes less efficient at absorbing crucial nutrients, especially important vitamins like B12, healthy fats, and trace minerals like zinc and magnesium. When the body falls short of these essentials, the skin loses moisture, nerve communications become disrupted, and immune strength declines. This leads to areas like the torso, rich with blood vessels and nerve endings, becoming irritated, sensitive, and itchy. But more critically, nutrient shortages can quietly weaken muscles, drain energy, and impair mental clarity over time. One of the most concerning aspects of senior malnutrition is that it often hides behind a stable weight. You might not see the number on the scale change, but your body could still be deprived of the nutrients it needs for vitality. That's why chronic itchiness across the midsection isn't just an inconvenience. It's often an early indicator that the body's core systems are running on empty. The encouraging news is that this issue is highly correctable with the right attention and care. Boosting your nutrition doesn't have to mean complicated changes. Simple tweaks like adding a handful of nuts, a boiled egg, some fresh berries, or a high-quality multivitamin can make a real difference over time. If you've been feeling itchiness across your chest or abdomen, and you know your eating habits have slipped, take this as a gentle reminder to refuel your body, not just for comfort, but for your long-term health. If you're still tuned in and finding this information helpful, please comment number 4 below, so I know you're still with me. And if you haven't yet subscribed, I encourage you to subscribe and turn on notifications, so you never miss an update. Your support helps us continue producing meaningful content to educate and inspire. Now, let's move ahead. Permanent final thoughts. Now that you're aware of these 4 key itchy spots on the body, take a quiet moment to reflect. Have you noticed any of these signs recently? A little itch might seem minor, but as we've discovered, it can reveal much deeper insights, from circulation issues in the legs to early hints of liver or kidney trouble, from stress showing up in the nerves of the scalp to silent nutritional shortages across the chest and abdomen. Your body is always communicating with you. It doesn't scream. It speaks softly and often through the skin. The encouraging part is that none of these signs mean it's too late. In truth, every one of them is an opportunity to tune in, slow down, and give your body the support it needs before a small concern turns into something bigger. You can move a bit more, eat a bit wiser, rest a bit deeper, and reconnect with yourself and those around you. If any of these signs sounded familiar today, take it seriously. Start with just one small step. And if you didn't recognize any of them, that's wonderful. But now you're better prepared if anything changes, because the true goal isn't simply living longer, it's living longer with energy, clarity, and joy. Paying attention to your body's early signals, even the ones that itch, is one of the best ways to make that happen. Thank you so much for being with us today. We would love to hear from you. Leave a comment below, sharing one thing you learned and how you plan to apply it. Your feedback truly matters to us, and reading your thoughts brings us great motivation and encouragement. If you found this video useful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us keep creating meaningful content to inform and uplift. Your feedback truly matters to us, and reading your thoughts brings us great motivation and encouragement. If you found this video useful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us keep creating meaningful content to inform and uplift. Thanks again for watching, and we can't wait to see you in the next video.